Hello dear students. So today I am going to discuss about resolving power of optical instruments. Optical instruments like microscope, telescope, etc. At first, before going to discuss about resolving power of optical instruments, at first we should know about the meaning of the term resolution. I think this term is familiar for you people. So what is the meaning of this resolution? So resolution means we can analyze the finer details of the object. For example, through naked eye it is not able to view the onion peel section. I think this experiment is familiar for you people in biology. So this onion peel section is clearly observed through the microscope. We can observe the arrangement of cells. Through naked eye, there is no resolution. When viewed through the microscope, there is a high resolution. Understood? So this is the meaning of resolution. Then the resolving power of the optical instrument. What is the relation between this term and resolving power? Obviously, in a resolving power, we are going to analyze the finer details of the object. Resolving power of the optical instrument means it is the ability of the optical instrument to produce distinctly separate images of two closely lying point objects. So here we are going to consider two closely lying point objects because according to geometrical optics, image of the point object is point image only. But after discussing this diffraction pattern, image of the point object that produces diffraction pattern contains alternate bright and dark fringes. If the diffraction pattern of one point object coincides with the diffraction pattern of another point object, then we cannot get the clear images of those two closely lying point objects. So closely lying point objects, we are going to consider these two as a reference. So by considering these two closely lying point objects, if a diffraction pattern of one point object and a diffraction pattern of another point object is distinctly separate, then we can get the clear images of the object. So let us take the term for our discussion, that is resolving power of an optical instrument. Resolving power of an optical instrument. Note on the definition. It is an ability it is an ability of the optical instrument to produce distinctly separate images of two closely lying point objects. So this is known as the resolving power of an optical instrument. So this was studied by one of the scientists, and the name of that scientist is Rayleigh. So when we can say 2 point objects are resolved, when we cannot say 2 point objects are not resolved, and 2 point objects are when well resolved. So depending upon the overlapping between the diffraction pattern of two closely lying point objects, because according to geometrical optics, image of the point object is point image only, but according to diffraction of light, image of the point object that contains alternate dark and bright fringes. So already we have discussed this thing in the last class. That means image of a point object that contains diffraction pattern like this. This is the central bright maximum. Intensity of this maximum is highest, then intensity goes on decreasing. This is the diffraction pattern. So this is our point object. Then image of this point object, so this is the diffraction pattern of the point object. It contains alternate dark and bright fringes. The intensity of this fringe is maximum, and intensity goes on decreasing as we move away from this central bright maximum. So this is nothing but circular diffraction pattern, or we can say concentric rings, because they are having same center. So this is the diffraction pattern of the point object due to bending of light rays around the objective of the optical instrument. Objective means lens which is near to the object. circular diffraction pattern having concentric circular rings. So when we can say the point objects are well resolved, depending upon the overlapping of these diffraction pattern. The point objects are well resolved when the point objects are just resolved, when the point objects are said to be unresolved. So this case was studied by the scientist Rayleigh, and hence that is known as a Rayleigh's criterion for resolution. So in Rayleigh's criterion for resolution, we are going to discuss about this thing. So Rayleigh's criterion. Rayleigh's criterion for resolution. So under this, at what condition we can say 2 point objects are just resolved, 2 point objects are unresolved and well resolved, depending upon the overlapping between the diffraction pattern. So let us take one by one. The first one, two-point objects are said to be just resolved. Two-point objects are said to be just resolved. So when we can say 2-point objects are said to be just resolved. So let us consider the diffraction pattern of 2 closely lying point objects when viewed through the optical instrument. This is the diffraction pattern of 1-point object. So let us consider the another diffraction pattern of another point object. This is the central bright maximum of 1-point object. So this one is the first secondary minimum. This is first secondary minimum. Diffraction pattern of another point object. Diffraction pattern of another point object. Now they are overlapping like this. You just observe the distance between central bright maxima of these 2-point objects. This distance, central bright maxima of 2-point objects. So this, let us say this distance is equal to y. So we are finding some way when we can say 2 point objects are just resolved. So that way is nothing but by considering the distance between two central bright maxima of 2 point objects and the distance between central bright maximum of 1 point object from its first secondary minimum, this distance. You just observe these two distances. These two distances are almost same. So this is nothing but y, this is nothing but x. So this is the way when x is equal to y, then those 2 point objects are said to be just resolved. So x is equal to y means, so in words we can say the distance between central bright maxima of 2 point objects is equal to distance between central bright maximum of any 1 point object from its first secondary minimum. Then those two given point objects are said to be just resolved. This is the condition. So note down. 2 point objects are said to be just resolved. If the distance between central bright maximum if the distance between central bright maxima, because plural 2 point objects, central bright maxima of 2 point objects is equal to distance between central bright maximum, singular, maximum of 1 point object from its first secondary minimum. That means first dark fringe. If the distance between central bright maxima of 2 point objects is equal to distance between the central bright maximum of any 1 point object from its first secondary minimum, you may take this central bright maximum or this central bright maximum. So if x is equal to y, then 2 point objects are said to be just resolved. So here x is equal to y. And second case, when 2 point objects are said to be well resolved. Two point objects are said to be well resolved. So 2 point objects are said to be well resolved. Again, let us consider the diffraction pattern of two closely lying point objects. So this is the diffraction pattern of one point object. Central bright maximum of the point object. This is another diffraction pattern. Central bright maximum of another point object. So this is the distance between a central bright maxima of 2 point objects, let us say y. Distance between central bright maximum of 1 point object and its first secondary minimum, this distance. You may take this distance or this distance, both are same. So in this case, clearly y is greater than x. Y greater than x. When y is greater than x, then those 2 point objects are said to be well resolved. So here y is greater than x means the distance between central bright maxima of 2 point objects is greater than central bright maximum of 1 point object from its first secondary minimum. Then those 2 objects are said to be well resolved. So note down the statement. Well resolved. Two point objects are said to be well resolved. When the distance between central bright maxima plural of 2-point objects central bright maxima of 2-point objects is greater than the distance between central bright maximum from its first secondary minimum two objects are said to be well resolved when the distance between central bright maxima of 2-point objects is greater than central bright maximum of 1-point object from its first secondary minimum. So this is the first secondary minimum. Then third one, 2-point objects are said to be unresolved so when we can say 2-point objects, so 2-point objects are said to be unresolved. 2-point objects are said to be unresolved. So again, let us consider the diffraction pattern of 2-point objects. Central bright maximum of 1-point object. Central bright maximum of 1-point object. First secondary minimum. this distance y, this distance x. If central bright maxima, distance between central bright maxima of 2 point objects is less than distance between central bright maximum of 1 point object from its first secondary minimum. In this case, those 2 point objects are said to be unresolved. So that means here y is less than x. Y is less than x. Two-point objects are said to be unresolved when the distance between central bright maximum, central bright maxima of 2 point objects central bright maxima of 2 point objects is less than the distance between central bright maximum of 1 point object from its first secondary minimum. So this is the case when 2 point objects are said to be unresolved. So through diagrams clearly you can understand this one. Y is equal to r, x is equal to y is greater than x, here y is less than x. Well resolved, just resolved, unresolved. So this is going to ask for 3 marks. Explain the Rayleigh's criterion for resolution. In some textbook they may write when 2 point objects are said to be just resolved when central bright maximum of 1 point object coincides with first secondary minimum of another point object. Same, that is as like as x is equal to y. So here central bright maximum of 1 point object coincides with first secondary maximum of another point object. So here central bright maximum of 1 point object coincides with first secondary minimum of another point object, that is y is less than x. Same definition. If you want, you can write those definitions also, or if these definitions are convenient, no problem, you can write these definitions in your examinations. So nothing is there, you just go through these all diagrams. So clearly you can write the explanation. So here first secondary minimum. The next one is a limit of resolution of microscope. Limit of resolution of microscope. So before going to discuss about the resolving power, at first we should learn about limit of resolution of microscope. Now what is the meaning of this limit of resolution of microscope? The name itself indicates limit. Again here we are going to consider two closely lying point objects. So limit of resolution of microscope is nothing but the minimum distance between the 2 point objects whose images are just resolved. If you are going to observe those point objects through the microscope, if images of those 2 point objects are just resolved, then that is known as limit of resolution of microscope. The minimum distance means up to what instant we can get the images of those 2 point objects, or we can say the images of those 2 objects are just resolved. So that is known as limit of resolution of microscope. Note on the definition. It is the minimum distance. It is the minimum distance between two closely lying point objects whose images are just resolved. It is the minimum distance between two closely lying point objects whose images are just resolved. That is known as limit. Minimum. Expression for limit of resolution of microscope. It is represented by small d. In a different textbook they are going to use different abbreviations. No problem, don't worry about that one. And here limit of resolution d is equal to lambda divided by 2n sin theta. Lambda divided by 2n sin theta. This is objective of the microscope. point object light rays so this angle is equal to theta and this angle is also equal to theta. Theta. Here theta is nothing but a semi-vertical angle. So this is objective. So objective is nothing but convex lens, the lens which is near to the object. This is our object. So this is the medium between object and objective. So this is the formula applicable in case of non-luminous objects. Non-luminous. For non-luminous objects. So here lambda wavelength of light used, n a refractive index of the medium between object and objective. Object and objective. Here theta semi-vertical angle, n sin theta is known as a numerical aperture. Okay, so here n sin theta is known as numerical aperture. So this formula applicable in case of non-luminous objects. For self-luminous objects, D is equal to 1.22, that is correction factor. This is known as correction factor. 1.22 is nothing but correction factor. There is so much more details about this one in your syllabus. Don't worry about that one. 1.22 into lambda divided by 2n sin theta. So this is in case of self-luminous objects. Then resolving power. Resolving power of microscope. A resolving power of microscope, it is numerically equal to reciprocal of this limit of resolution. So that's why I have explained at first this limit of resolution. So reciprocal of this limit of resolution, that gives resolving power of the microscope. It is the reciprocal or you can write resolving power of the microscope is equal to reciprocal of its limit of resolution. Sometimes in your computer examination, they will give this data, limit of resolution, and they are going to ask calculate the resolving power of microscope by giving some more data. Then there is no need to do the calculation. Just by considering the reciprocal of that value, that gives the resolving power of microscope. And there are some tricky questions. You can follow this type of methods. Even you are going to understand the subject clearly, then you will get how to solve that numerical within a short time. Because after completing the syllabus, while facing the questions, always you are going to think about the calculation. Sometimes there is no need of much more calculation. Simply by thinking we can answer the questions. So reciprocal of limit of resolution. So this is equal to 1 by d. Reciprocal 1 by d is equal to 2n sin theta divided by lambda. So this is for non-luminous objects. Non-luminous. Just write this expression in your examination. If they are going to ask, mention the expression for resolving power, then just mention this. Don't write non-luminous, self-luminous. If particularly when they are going to ask, write the expression for resolving power of microscope for a non-luminous object, self-luminous object, then you can write these equations. And for self-luminous, 1 by d is equal to, this is equal to 2n sin theta divided by 1.22 into lambda, that is correction factor. So here 1 by d itself indicates resolving power, and we know that terms n is nothing but a refractive index of the medium, lambda wavelength of light used, theta is nothing but semi-vertical angle, this angles here. In our annual exam, in our computer examination, they are going to provide this total angle. This total, if suppose this total angle is equal to 4 theta, semi-vertical angle is nothing but 4 theta divided by 2 is equal to 2 theta. Like that you should do the calculation. Same explanation. So this is for self-luminous. Next, limit of resolution of telescope. Limit of resolution of telescope. So limit of resolution of telescope is nothing but it is the angle subtended at the objective of the telescope by two distant objects at which their images are just resolved. That is known as limit of resolution of a telescope. Because we are going to view the telescope, we are going to use this telescope to view distant objects. Therefore, here limit of resolution of telescope is nothing but it is the angle subtended at the objective means lens, at the objective by two distant objects, when their images are just resolved. It is the angle subtended at the objective of the telescope, by two distant objects when their images are just resolved. Then expression for limit of resolution of telescope, it is represented by theta. This is equal to correction factor 1.22 lambda divided by d. 1.22 lambda divided by d. So here 1.22 is nothing but correction factor and the lambda is nothing but wavelength. Of light used. And d. So here d is nothing but diameter of the objective. Telescope one object, another object. Object 1, object 2, angle subtended at the objective of the telescope theta. So this is nothing but telescope. Okay. What is the relation between limit of resolution and diameter? If telescope with larger the diameter, the limit of resolution is minimum. If lambda is maximum, limit of resolution is also maximum. Resolving power of the telescope resolving power of the telescope. Again, you can easily write the resolving power of telescope, because again it is the reciprocal of limit of resolution of telescope. So resolving power of the telescope is equal, or it measures, or it is numerically equal to, you can write any definition, is equal to, is equal to reciprocal of its limit of resolution. Reciprocal of its limit of resolution, that is 1 by theta is equal to d divided by 1.22 into lambda. This is nothing but a resolving power of the telescope. Okay, so we can increase the resolving power of the telescope. So we can increase by using objective of larger diameter. So here 1 by theta, this 1 by theta is inversely proportional to lambda. If lambda is maximum, 1 by theta is minimum. If lambda is minimum, 1 by theta is maximum. Similarly, in case of microscope, you should have that knowledge. Then easily you can solve some numericals in the competitive examination. Now, another thing, along with that microscope, in case of a microscope, we are going to use different types of microscopes, like ultra microscope, electron microscope, oil immersion microscope. So, what are the differences between these microscopes? In case of oil immersion microscope, oil of a high refractive index used in between object and objective, because we know that in case of a microscope, limit of resolution of microscope, that is d is equal to lambda divided by 2n sin theta. Resolving power is equal to 1 by d is equal to 2n sin theta divided by lambda. 1 by d is proportional to refractive index. If refractive index is maximum, 1 by d, that is the resolving power of the microscope, is also maximum. So therefore, in order to increase the resolving power, we are going to prefer oil immersion type of microscope, that is oil of a high refractive index in between object and objective. Ultra microscope, say in that formula 1 by d is equal to 2n sin theta divided by lambda. 1 by d is inversely proportional to lambda. If lambda is minimum, resolving power of the microscope is maximum. In case of ultra microscope, object is illuminated by UV rays. So here ultraviolet light rays have a smaller wavelength as compared with visible light, and hence we will get a high resolution in case of microscope. And in electron microscope, fast moving beam of fast moving electrons is going to use in this microscope in order to increase the resolving power, because the beam of fast moving electrons again has a smaller wavelength. So if wavelength is minimum, resolving power is maximum. On the basis of that, we are going to consider this type of microscopes. Okay. So this is all about resolving power of the optical instruments, that is a microscope, telescope, limit of resolution, all those things. Okay. So in next class I am going to start polarization.